Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my chronic pain, the types of chronic pain that I've had, and what I'm doing to help with my chronic pain. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Brenda, and I do videos on lifestyle, what I eat, and health. And if you're returning, thank you for showing back up and supporting my channel. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. I've been dealing with chronic pain for at least 30 years. I deal with chronic back and hip pain, migraines. I've been diagnosed with IBS and fibromyalgia. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is IBS. I was diagnosed with IBS at least, I want to say it's been about 13 years ago. I've dealt with just stomach issues and more so constipation. There's a lot of people out there, especially in this space of healthy eating, carnivore, keto, that deal with chronic pain. Now they've got a new diagnosis of IBS-C for constipation. Back in the day, I was diagnosed with just IBS. Now I know it was IBS-C. Ever since I can remember in elementary, more so middle school that I recall, I just remember dreading to go to the bathroom because it was going to take a long time. My stomach was hurting and cramping. I just dealt with so much pain. And my mom even told me that I've always had stomach issues, even when I was a toddler and even a baby. So I've changed up my diet. I've done elimination, dove into keto, and then I went carnivore, and I'm just changing things up now to still kind of, see where I'm at. I was given medication. I was given over the counter fiber to take. I was given so many things to try to help alleviate my symptoms, and just nothing ever worked. It was so uncomfortable. People would say, eat more fiber, eat more fruit. None of that helped. I will tell you that, some people that can just drink a glass of orange juice or have a couple of oranges and they're good, that didn't work for me. And what works is healthy eating. And I'm not talking healthy just fruits and vegetables and, eggs and things like that, because even certain healthy fruits or vegetables upset my stomach. So it's one of those things where diet plays a huge role when you have IBS. And I'm sure many of you have experienced that. So diet has really helped with my IBS. And the second thing that I want to talk about that I've dealt with for at least 20 years, and it more so started after I had my children. I have 3 children. My oldest is 25, my middle, and he's a male, and then my middle child is a girl, and she is soon to be 23. She will be 23 this weekend. I cannot believe it. I think back and I just remember the day I went into labor with these children. It's amazing how time flies. And then my youngest boy just turned 20, and they were all summer babies, 2 in July and 1 in June. So after I had my second child, which my daughter, she was the heaviest out of all 3. And she is the one that I want to say early in my pregnancy, the beginning of my second trimester, I remember I worked at a bank. I remember we stood pretty much all day long, walked around. We really didn't sit down too much. And I remember specifically what I was doing that day. And I just remember that's when the back pain started. It was just It felt like a tight belt and just wrapped around my stomach and my back. Just felt like a twinge, like an ache right here in my back. Very uncomfortable. Well, from that moment on, it just got worse and worse. The bigger, the heavier, the more weight I put on, it was bad. I even bought a pregnancy belt to help lift my stomach. And I think that helped a little bit. Then I had her, it alleviated some, but as time went on, it was slowly coming back intermittently, just coming back to the point where it became chronic. And then in 2005, went to a chiropractor. And again, with that, you really have to keep up with it. I went, adjusted my back. It felt good temporarily. I went to a specialist and he just said, it's one of those things where they can't tell you specifically what you have. I was diagnosed with spondylitis, then they said it's osteoarthritis. Just, that I needed to go to physical therapy, did that. And again, everything works temporarily. Nothing fixed the problem. So then I got on all sorts of medications. And of course, none of the side effects are fun to deal with. It kicks you back into constipation again, things you don't want to be dealing with. And I was doing steroid injections, I was doing nerve block, I was doing all of that, and it did help for a longer period of time. But the fact remains is my back pain was still there. What was it? Inflammation, obviously, but what could I do to alleviate it? I stopped taking meds for that. I stopped taking injections. I've just dealt with it on and off. I've had flare-ups, you name it. So anytime I got, inflamed, I would take a leave or 800 milligram ibuprofen. And finally, it just kind of alleviated itself. And I notice when I do work out and I am moving and just loosening up joints, stretching, doing yoga, things like that, it does not hurt as bad. What I found helps is if I'm not just sitting for long periods of time or just not moving. If you don't move, your body just stiffens up and it hurts and it is not good. So what I do is I work from home. I have a desk that I can raise up. So as soon as, I'd say after an hour, couple of hours, I raise it up, I stand, I walk, around my house, really quick, come back. I let the dogs out, come back, go drink some water, come back. I move. I don't just sit there for hours on end. And then my Apple Watch, again, it's a good watch that'll notify you of, hey, you need to move. And on Instagram, I do always post when I'm going walking, what I eat. I pretty much post all the time on Instagram. So if you're not following me, go follow me there so you can see I update more there than I do here on YouTube. And I do notice when I do not sleep well, I feel aches and pains. What has helped with my back and other aches and pains are try and get the best sleep you can, and also to movement. If you don't move your body, especially the older we get, I'll be 50 in November. The older we get, the stiffer our body gets, and we lose a lot of muscle as time goes on. So you want to strengthen your core, any muscle activity, any weightlifting you can do it. And it doesn't have to be crazy hardcore. Let me go join a gym. I do weights here at home. I walk at least 2 miles, I'd say about 5 days out of the week. And I feel so much better now. But I can feel it, but it is nowhere the way it was before. So you might want to give that a try if you're dealing with back pain or just any pain at all. You have to move. And I know a lot of people think I need a rest, I need to relax. It sounds counterintuitive to be moving around, but that may help you. Now, disclaimer, I am not a medical physician, I am not a nurse, I am not a fitness trainer. I am just letting you know what works for me and letting you know what's going on and what could help you. So don't feel like, oh my God, she's telling me to go run a marathon or to go walk 5 miles and then get injured. And you always want to talk to your physician anytime you're changing up diet, exercise, anything like that, because I don't know what medical issues anyone has. So you always want to check with your physician. And number 3, about 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I've got the back pain, I had my migraines, just, the IBS. If you look up fibromyalgia, it'll be more specific and detailed to let you know what it consists of, how you're diagnosed. Try and do more homeopathic, more just natural, because I don't want to take too many medications. As it is, and I'll talk about my migraines here in just a minute, but as it is, I do take something for my migraines, and I don't want to take more medication than I need to. And again, I've made a few videos on my migraines. I will list them right here so you can go watch those and you can find out what I was doing at that time for my migraines. But I can tell you, I'm happy to talk about this part of the video because I have dealt with migraines ever since I was about 10 to 12 years old. I remember vividly just dealing with a pain just right here above my right eyebrow. Later on, as I got older, it kind of switched. It would switch, but it is never on both sides. It is just always on one side. Sometimes it can start back here, but for the most part, it is just right here. I can feel when it's about to happen. There's times where I have like an aura, where I'll have this aura just complete. It doesn't blind me, but it's just this thing just going like a swirl just in my eye. Once that disappears, at least 30 minutes to an hour later, the migraine will hit. That is 90% of the time when I get that aura. So I know that if I drink too much alcohol, certain alcohols like tequila is a no-go, and it's sad because I do like margaritas. That is a no-go. And if I have drinks that are too sweet, alcoholic beverages that are too sweet, that is a no-go. If I have too many, I will get a migraine. There's certain wines that cause my migraine. So basically, it's what I'm putting in my mouth that I can control. Now, I'm not saying I never get migraines anymore. They are now far and few between, which to me is a plus. Certain foods also give me migraines. And the weird thing about it is if I haven't here lately in a long time, but if I make a homemade cake, I'm good. If I buy a store-bought cake with all the icing and, blue icings and all, it is just, I'm going to get a migraine. So what I have done is I focus solely on natural, one ingredient foods. I'm talking, and you've heard of this before, I know you have, the perimeter of your grocery store. Dairy, eggs, meat, just once you start going in the middle, package, process, things like that, that's where you start getting into all the nasty stuff that's in the processed foods. I'm not saying that I never have them. have junk food or processed foods. I mean, I have, keto bars, those are not one ingredient. Protein powder, not one ingredient. But I try and look for the best ingredients in things that I'm eating. For the most part, I do eat, one ingredient foods. I mean, if there's an ingredient list, you've got to really look at the first, few things that it's got on there. If right away the first ingredient is sugar or whatever, it's just not going to be good. But I do what I eat in a day videos. And if you haven't seen those, you may want to go through my channel. I have a playlist on what I eat in a day. I do grocery lists so you can see the types of food I buy. But I will say, along this journey in the past year, I have just played with different things to see what works, what doesn't, what affects my IBS, what affects my headaches. I've done a lot of playing around. And with this way of eating, whether it's keto, whether it's carnivore, whatever way you are eating, it doesn't even have to be in the keto spectrum. Um, just know that processed foods, things high in sugar, they cause inflammation. So you have to know that right off the bat. All in all, what has helped me with my chronic pain, migraines, back, hip pain, is eating healthier, eating good food. That has really helped. It has helped keep weight off. I will say I'm going to make another video on this way of eating, keto way of eating, and things that have changed, things that I have changed, and how my body has changed here really soon. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and list down in the comments what questions you have or what other videos you'd like for me to do, because I want to make content that will help you guys. I get questions about the what I eat in a day videos. I get good feedback from those. If you are dealing with pain, think about what you're eating, put it in a journal, write it down, and look at when you're grocery shopping and you're looking at these packages, look and see what ingredients are in there. And one thing, my advice, and this is advice, you can do is if you're going to start eliminating things, do it. You can either just go all elimination and eliminate everything and then slowly add things back in. And usually you want to do that, give it several days for you to see how you're going to react with that food. But what I did is I went full blown carnivore with the exception of coffee, and had just meat and eggs and dairy because I can tolerate most dairy. And then slowly added things back in. And right away I knew, oh, that's not going to work. And there's, certain things that I had to test out. So I will list my what I eat in a day playlist here for you guys so you can see the foods that I eat and enjoy the video. I will see you in my next one.